The following podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
Two things involving Joe Bob's drive-in show that's shown on Shudder. The first thing is a couple weeks ago when Eli Roth was guest on the show, I noticed on social media platforms that a lot of people were really surprised by the amount of knowledge that Eli Roth has. Now, I'm not the biggest Eli Roth fan. You know, his films are okay to below okay at best. But to hear people talking about they're surprised to hear how intelligent this man is when it comes to horror films, and it really surprised me, and it kind of disturbed me a little bit. It's like, guys, you know, if you love his movies, you should know a little bit about the guy. You know, I mean, at the very least, know how intelligent he is when it comes to horror films, because he really is up there. And while I wouldn't watch a movie with him or one of his movies with him, I would certainly discuss horror with him for hours on end, and I would learn a great deal. Second of all is to all those people that are shaming Darcy, knock your shit off, okay? She's had a rough thing going on, you know, for a good portion of time, and people just keep going online and shaming the poor girl. Knock your shit off, folks, okay? Seriously. She's a human being. Treat her like a human being. Don't be a dick, be a dude. Welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
Welcome all you little zombies. You're listening to Trick or Treat Radio, starring the Deadites.
Welcome to episode 458 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is the world's most dangerous podcast and recorded in front of an undead studio audience here at Castle Wolfenstein, also at the Lair of Lost Swag within the Raven Chateau, also Casa de Zero and the Lair of the Gods. Everyone, be a dude, not a dick. Or douche, what was it?
Don't be a dick, be a dude.
True, it's what my Nana always said.
yeah, that's sage advice.
That's true.
Don't be
Hey,
a
I'm
dick.
not the one who came up with it. You know who came up with it.
Who?
Think. Don't be a dick, be a dude.
Well, I asked, so why don't you tell me?
Murderface.
Oh. All right.
William Murderface. Sound advice from the bass player of Death Clock.
And Planet Piss.
Yeah.
My soul band, Planet Piss. All right, so we are here. What?
Don't be a dick, be a dude.
All right, we're here, episode 458. We're live. If you're watching us live, if you're not, then we're not live. We recorded it live, but we're not live right now. Although, I guess Raven Shadow, we could potentially be doing a live show right in their ear, right? That doesn't sound good, actually.
Yeah, I'll do a live show in your ear hole. Yeah.
Yeah,
dude, right now, yeah.
So you know what? We're live no matter when you listen to us, because it's the first time you're hearing it, so you can just pretend that we're there hanging out right now. So so we're live. No Professor J this week, unfortunately, right? Been 2 weeks in a row. What the fuck, man? No, we wanted to give Jay a break because I'm sure he's sick of our shit, right, Raven Shadow?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sick of our shit, but
You can take a break anytime you want. Go ahead.
We won't stop you.
Rude. That's rude.
Yep. Have we met?
Oh Chelsea. He's gonna come out swing tonight. He's pissed off.
Yeah, I'm surly because I fucking start the show off with computer problems, so fucking deal with it.
It's probably
Yeah,
MZ's.
but you got your whiskey, so it all evens out.
It's probably MZ's fault somehow.
What? MZ's fault?
Yeah, probably.
No, I said you got your whiskey, so it evens out. But then again, you got your whiskey anyway, so maybe not.
Yeah, I had my whiskey before I had the computer problem, so.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I had a small technical issue myself before we got on. So
Why would that make me feel better?
because you're not alone, you have me.
I don't know how that's supposed to make you feel, Aries.
Yeah. Your misery doesn't make me happy. I'm sorry. Maybe mine makes you happy, but
MZ feeds off of misery. It's like his superpower. All right, so on tonight's show, we're going to be talking about a little flick called Honeydew. Do you guys know why it's called Honeydew?
Because they like croissants and iced coffee.
Croissants?
Croissants.
For
'Cause
an Italian, you got a pretty good French accent.
Surrender.
What?
I speak fluent French.
Fluid?
Fluid, yeah, fluid.
Fluid French.
Yeah, my French is very fluid. But when I use, to be fair, when French words have come up, there's usually a lot of fluids over at my place.
You know, that's very good.
Oh,
Maybe
boy.
one of these days you learn English.
Oui. Bambaleo.
What's French for one? Do you guys know what the French word for one is?
Oh no.
Uno.
Well, we're playing fucking card games over here?
Yeah. No, man. I mean, we didn't have that curriculum.
Ravenshaw, you must have had a menage a une.
Oh, yeah. It's like, well, I don't know. I'm not going to try that.
Oh, updating the website.
French dressing.
Speaking of French, this is a kind of weird segue, but one of my favorite bands, I'm sure you guys have heard me mention, Gojira, French band. They just released their newest album on this past Friday, and it fucking rips.
Nice. We love Gojira.
MZ does. MZ loves the
I'm-
monster.
Yes, well, he's my arch enemy. I have respect, but he's still my mortal enemy.
Respect.
Beck.
Oh, respect.
So yeah, if anyone is into metal, the new Gojira album is fucking awesome. So I'd recommend checking it out. Maybe I'll play some at some point if we do like a double tap or we haven't done one of those in a while, huh?
No. Not
Good
this
reason
year.
for it.
What's that, MZ?
Good reason for it.
Why? Because it takes so long. I gotta go.
No, well, that too. Yeah,
I gotta go to bed. You tired today?
yeah. I'm tired every day.
I
At this
know.
point, I'm tired.
You wake up tired?
No,
Are you
I
ever
would
awake?
wake up refreshed because I just slept. Am I ever awake? Like you mean like right now?
Yes. Do you ever feel awake?
Oh, do I ever feel awake? Yeah, when I'm at work. Then again, I have to.
He feels alive when he's working. Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe on the next Patreon or something. Maybe we'll do kind of like well, actually, no. I know MZ. You don't like doing double taps on Patreon shows, right? You like doing different stuff. Well, maybe we'll do a double tap soon if someone wants. If one person wants it. We haven't done one of those in a while. Let's see. What else? I don't really have anything on deck to talk about. Did you guys... happy May the 4th. You guys celebrate Star Wars Day?
I celebrate Star Wars every day.
Touche, Aries. Touche.
Aries all thoroughly and burly.
Yeah, you know what? I hate that May the 4th shit. It every fucking Yahoo. It's just like, you know, you don't care about Star Wars any day except for when you say May the 4th be with you.
Well, I
It
think
was clever when it first came out.
It was never clever.
No. I give it props. It was whoever thought it up. It was clever for about a year, maybe 2 years, but now everybody's May the 4th be with you. You know.
Well, here's the thing. I think it's be one thing if maybe when they had the re-release, you know, in the late 90s with the THQ VHS tapes, if the Star Wars holiday was the day that Star Wars opened in theaters, maybe.
Right. But that would have been, I
That
think it was
might make
May 23rd or 4th, I believe, was when Star Wars first came out.
Yeah, I mean, May the 24th be with you. That's cool. But like,
That was May 25th. I'm sorry. May the 25th be with you.
Revenge of the 25th. You know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna do? But I think to arbitrarily name that, it's just a weird kind of thing. It's like Batman Day. Like Batman Day wasn't the day that in comic shops. It wasn't the day that Detective 27 dropped. Hell, it wasn't even June 23rd, 1989. You know, when the Burton picture came out. It's just like an arbitrarily named day. Like apparently yesterday was our astronaut day. Who the fuck knows that?
Every day is some kind of day.
Yeah,
it's just
it's
getting
true.
ridiculous.
There's
I
like
think it's the astronaut.
there's like National Pet Day, there's like National Dog Day, and then there's like National Cat Day, National Raven Shadow Day. When's that?
Probably like around 420.
420.
Yeah. Cinco de Bambaleo, baby. You know
Cinco
what I mean?
de
That's-
Bambaleo.
Jesus.
There you go.
Somebody called. But see, as I wasn't intentionally planning on celebrating May 4th, Johnny. Here's the thing. So my goal was to just catch up on some Mayans so I can talk to my mom about that on Mother's Day, because she likes the Latino biker program, and I like it too. It's Sons of Anarchy spinoff. But I gotten home, and then Marion made a surprise visit because she knew I had a bad day, and so she popped over and
Oh,
I
you
just
didn't?
threw something on.
Why didn't you tell she had a bad day? MZ would have cheered you up.
If I
I
had
would
a
have told
bad-
you about his bad day
yeah,
too.
yeah, it would have made you feel better.
That's true. All right, next time I'll call MZ.
Do that.
But Marion, I love you, brother, but Marion's much more attractive than you are. So came over, and I was flipping channels, and it was TNT was showing Empire and Jedi, and I love the fact that Turner still has the rights to those fucking the original trilogy up until I think Force Awakens,
Yeah.
and for all the green that fucking Disney throws at him, he's like, nope, we're gonna keep that, and we're gonna show it every fucking holiday. Good for you, Ted Turner. But it was the end of Empire, and it was the fucking "I love you, I know" scene. So at 44 years old, I'm like, well, fuck it, I gotta see what fucking happens now. You know what I mean? Like that's the shit. So then we watched, you know, with fucking commercials on the TNT network. Finished Empire, and Jedi was gonna be on, but Marion had the idea, why don't we watch fucking Jedi, you know, on Disney Plus, so we'd know commercials. A few minutes in, then she suggests watching the Boba Fett episode of Mandalorian, where he fucking throws down. So yeah, so I wasn't planning on it, but I caught the end of Empire, start of Jedi, and the Mandalorian getting his armor back episode. So you know what? It was a good day.
Wow, you have zero attention span. Jesus Christ. A little bit of everything going on.
We were very economical, Aries.
Did you watch The Bad Batch?
I've not watched The Bad Batch yet.
Well, it just dropped
Should I-
on May the 4th.
It's animation though.
Yeah, so fucking what? You read comic books, right?
True.
What's
Yeah,
the
yeah, I
difference
know.
between, like, besides the motion, what's the difference between a comic book and fucking animated show?
But true, but I don't know.
I'm a fucking adult. I can't watch cartoons.
Yeah, I'm 44 years old.
But
I
you
want
can
my
have your
Star
mom.
Wars-
But you can have your mom bring you cigarettes and read comics all day.
I didn't ask her to do that. There was a pandemic, Johnny, and she had to stand in line first. Okay.
Look, let me tell you something, okay? I'm gonna be turning 50 next month, okay?
Oh
I
God,
still
we
watch.
have to celebrate. We have to do something for that. Jesus Christ.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
No, we don't. Don't. No, we don't.
If you didn't want something to happen, you wouldn't have just brought it up.
Yeah.
I brought it up to make a point. About he was talking about his Raven Shadow was talking about his age and how he can't be watching cartoons. I'm 44. I got issues. I can't be watching cartoons. I'm gonna be 50. I still watch cartoons.
Yeah, well, you could have just said, "I'm going to be 50. I'm going to be 50 next month." Wink, wink,
It'd
nudge,
be-
nudge. Know what I mean? Know what I mean?
No, no.
Or
no,
you could
no.
have said
I'm
I'm
not-
49 and I like cartoons.
Oh, for God's sakes, really? Okay, all right. Just to make these two dipshits happy, I'm going to be turning 50 next month. Okay, now give me my presents.
Just because you want it doesn't mean we're going to do it for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
It's my birthday.
me anyway. I don't.
It's my birthday. Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
You
Even
know?
though this is legitimately one of the ones I think people should be able to celebrate if they choose.
It is a milestone.
Yes.
Yeah.
After 21, you should only be able to celebrate the zeros.
Well, I'm Monster Zero. That's pretty good. But to be fair, I remember we still have the videotape of your 30th birthday party. I believe
I still
in
got that.
I still have that. Yeah.
Do
We
you
need
really?
to convert.
Oh my God.
Yeah. We should have gave it to you, but I was in a lot of it, so I kept it. But no.
You should send
Will?
it to Johnny. You should send it to Johnny so he can do
Digitize it.
something with it. Maybe. Yeah, digitize it. Make let people see it. I'd love to see it. I don't even remember.
Let's state this correctly. You should have Marion said that to Johnny.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Otherwise, I'll be 67 by the time he gets it.
Johnny, you're cute. Come over, dude.
I'll be right there.
All right, seriously. That's exciting.
So,
But
you're too old for cartoons. What are you saying?
No. I'm not saying I'm too old for cartoons. I like the cartoons. I just don't really watch a lot of them.
You like the X-Men cartoon?
It doesn't really age well. But once again, that was 1990, whatever the fuck. It's still fun. I like the cartoons. I just don't.
But that was a cartoon geared for teenagers. You won't watch a cartoon that's more geared towards adults.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm
Yes.
just.
The Star
I don't
Wars
know.
shows are
Maybe I'll
not made
watch-
for kids.
You sure?
Yes.
But no,
There's
I
a
watched.
Star Wars cartoon in the holiday special.
It's true. That's on Disney
God.
Plus now. That's Boba Fett was
Yeah.
introduced in a fucking cartoon.
Yeah. That was Boba Fett's first introduction right there. Pretty important shit.
No, it's good. It's good. No, I'm not knocking you, little bad batch, John. You know, you like it. You're very excited on the Force and Sensitive podcast.
My little
was
bad
so-
batch.
Yeah, your little batch, Johnny's little bad batch. It's very exciting that the Force and Sensitive boys can cover an animated Star Wars feature. It's their first time being played, not something that's from times past, right? So that's exciting for the Force and Sensitive crew.
Oh, you read the post. Look at you.
And I like it. You know what? Now, I will, because now I'm going to start calling. All right, now you're getting fucking voicemails. What do you think of that? I'm gonna-
Go for it.
I'm going to do it,
And just because you send them in doesn't mean they have to play them.
Johnny.
Nah, I'll play it.
True.
Thank you.
I give it 2 before he says, no, fuck this.
Oh, Angry Townsman's got a question for you, Raven Shadow. What about the new Invincible cartoon on Amazon Prime?
Ooh.
Yeah, no,
That is
I,
not for kids.
it's not. I think the animation is beautiful. It totally captures the artwork of that book. It's fucking lovely. It's really, really sweet. I've only watched a couple of episodes, and I have the first trade that I read some years ago. I mean, it's Robert Kirkman doing his take on essentially it's if General Zod has a son and it's Peter Parker. But yeah, it definitely goes all in. I do think that's a beautiful artwork, animation. I agree, Townsman. Yes.
Yes.
But didn't you also watch like Batman the Dark Knight cartoon like in the early 2000s? Didn't you watch some of that shit?
20 years ago.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, I know. Batman the animated series. You know, I love all the Bruce Timm stuff. That's great. And there's some great animation. It's just, it's not my go-to. But I will check it out. I watched some of the Rebels that you talked about. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So nice you had to say it twice? Or
Yeah,
thrice?
I mean, I like. Or trois.
Angry Townsman says it encapsulates the spirit of the comic greatly and does differ some as it is an adaptation. Yeah, I haven't seen it. Has anyone else seen Invincible? I've heard a lot of good things about it, though.
I haven't.
But Townsman, do you think they cram a lot of the stuff a little bit quickly in the books? Because it already got renewed for season 2 and 3. But it's a Kirkman adaptation, so they could probably definitely do some different things, much like Walking Dead, where it will have the show or the comic as the jumping off point, but then kind of veer off into its own direction. But I do think that the animation is beautiful in that. I love it.
There you go. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I'm kind of curious, though. So Bad Batch was good, though. It's basically like almost like the A-Team in Star Wars. It's
Are they an established crew?
Are they what?
So
Are they an established crew?
Well, they were established in the last season of Clone Wars. Because they're
so you
Go ahead, MZ. What?
go ahead. I was just going to say, so you mean they're as bad as stormtroopers when it comes to firing their weapons?
No, they're much better. They're enhanced clones, so they're like clones of Jango Fett, but they've been like altered, so they have almost like superpowers. They get like covert sort of like secret missions or like these these missions that other crews wouldn't get. So there's a dude that looks like Rambo. His name's Hunter. So no, I think you dig it, Raven Shadow. If you've seen Clone Wars, even if you just watch like season 7, like to see their introduction, like that might help, but you probably don't need to. They do a good job of introducing them, and it takes.
And I did watch it.
The episode takes place right as soon as Order 66 is happening from from the end of the Clone Wars. So.
And I will check it out. I mean, I did watch some of Rebels, the first couple episodes. I watched a few.
First couple episodes. There's 76 episodes, and that show is fucking amazing.
Well, fair, but I mean, I'm fucking trying, Johnny. I'm trying.
You're not trying. You watched the last half of Empire on cable. You could have put on Rebels.
I saw it in fucking theaters. You know what I mean? I've seen the fucking. I know how the picture it turns out, but I was like, hey, I know Marion didn't like watching the news, so I'm like, let me find. Oh shit, there's the Empire.
Yeah. Why don't you go? Hey, shit, there's Rebels.
Oh, because I'm. She gets to the point where it's like, I love you. I know. I'm like, oh shit. Then I started getting a little misty. I started crying.
Townsman says.
I'm starting to cry too.
Townsman says it could go 7 to 8 seasons to get the 140 plus issue story.
Yeah, right. I mean, there's like 3 fucking giant omnibuses. You know what I mean? What are you gonna do? But did you guys see? Actually, Johnny, you can take this on your Force and Sensitive program.
Oh, thank you.
You can have this. And I thought this too, like watching Lando with Lobot. I'm a big Lando and Lobot mark. Like I want that fucking Disney Plus show, like Lil Lobot and fucking Donald Glover as Lando. How they meet. That's why I want that fucking show.
You know how they meet? They meet when Lando gets control of Cloud City. I'm sure it wasn't all that sexy. They didn't meet in a Sabacc game or anything like that, Raven Shadow.
Look at you name dropping Star Wars games. That's nice.
Everyone fucking knows
Oh,
Sabak.
Sabak. Yeah, right. It's the game. Right. Yeah, it's a game that fucking yeah.
Yeah. If I say yeah, everyone will believe me. Yeah.
But I like the fact that Lando had like a manservant that was Lobot.
He wasn't a
And-
manservant.
He's totally a robot servant.
He wasn't a
A cyborg.
robot.
He's a cyborg.
Maybe. He's got
Or maybe
cybernetic
Happy birthday,
enhancement.
Aries.
Is Geordie LaForge a cyborg?
Good question.
Shit. Don't fuck. All right, listen. Jordy's being Jordy. But listen, anyway, he's a. I thought it was nice that he had a little manservant, and
Why is he a servant?
because he would, or his number one. Okay, his number one. Like it was like his right.
Who does number 2
But
work
I-
for?
Who did that? Well, ask one of your cohorts on Forced and Sensitive. But our buddy Pez posted recently that apparently, I don't know if this is true, that Morris Day was originally supposed to was asked to play Lando.
That is not true.
I don't know, Pez, maybe it's not true, or maybe it's a legend, but I read
That was Morris Day having some fun on May the 4th.
Yeah.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I would imagine, like, if Morris Day was in Cloud City, like, Jerome would totally be Lobot. Like, there's no similarities there. That's very funny to me.
That's what it is. It's funny.
No.
Yeah, at the time, Morris Day would have been, when they're filming, well, actually, like, Empire was 80, so they probably filmed at 78, 79. He would have been, like, 22 years old.
Yeah, but still, so they would do
He was,
it.
he was not in the running.
He was far too young to play someone that would have been friends with Han.
Yeah.
I think Han would be definitely friends with Morris Day in the time.
Well, maybe.
Having been on stage with Morris Day in the time, I could feel the charisma from.
Okay, yes. I can't argue that point, but I'm saying that Morris Day was too young to play Lando.
Yeah, but how old was Billy D in that? He could have been much more than.
Billy D was probably in his early 30s at that point.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
So much nasty.
Maybe about 33, 34,
He
probably.
he was born in 43, so he... Oh, I'm sorry, no, 37
Oh,
he was born.
older.
Holy shit. Yeah, he was born
Oh,
in
he's older.
1937.
Really?
Yeah.
He predates Batman.
Billy D is older than Batman.
Holy shit.
So he would have been, 40, basically probably 41, 42.
What have we here?
Wow.
Yeah, he looked good,
Wow,
huh?
he's
Even older than I thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
You look good.
He's getting a little, unfortunately, getting a little up there. He's 84 now.
Stop it.
Yeah, he's fucking 84.
Jiminy Crickets.
Do they have retirement homes in Cloud City?
Cloud City is a retirement
Yeah,
home.
it is pretty much. It's like Florida.
I'm at
Yeah, I
like
guess so.
the Golden
so.
Girls theme song with Cloud City.
I'm just picturing the newspaper headline. It's Cloud City, man. You know,
Shuffleboard courts and
that much closer to heaven.
KO peck that you could drink.
Metamucil, Madlock. I got it all.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Metamucil Falcon.
Oh my god. So yeah, Star Wars Day.
well, since we've gone down this little Star Wars rabbit hole, did anyone see the working lightsaber that Disney has come out with?
Oh yeah, I did see that.
They got a what? A what?
It is I say working as in, as far as it is a hilt and you activate it and the saber comes out.
No kidding.
And it is glowing and it looks really cool. once you understand the mechanics behind it, it is less than impressive.
Really?
Yeah, you can't wave it around. Is the major problem with it.
That is a
I
problem.
was gonna say you can't like cut people down with it or anything like that.
No, it is just strictly light. It isn't a plasma-based weapon.
So it was like a hard flashlight.
It will happen. What do you think?
Bullshit. Yeah, it's pretty crazy though.
Yeah, it looks so cool. If no one has seen the video, check it out. It's only like 13 seconds long of someone activating it.
So apparently it works. I'm actually looking at something now. It says it works like a tape measure, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A tape measure. Huh.
So it's probably an LED thing that extends out and then retracts. That's pretty cool, though. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
But if you tried to like wheel the fucking tape measure, it'd be like fucking flapping like.
Well, that's what I mean. You can't really wield that about. But I say you should check it out. Raven Shadow. Have someone show you it. It is impressive to watch this come out and realize there's no CGI involved.
Ask Marion.
All right.
She'll figure it out for you. Do you want an actual lightsaber, Raven Shadow, or would you cut something off?
I mean,
You try to light your cigarettes with it. Be like,
And who would you want? Like Mace Windu? Would you want Darth Vader, Darth Maul, Luke Skywalker?
nah, baby, it's Luke's fucking green saber, dog. That's the fucking only lightsaber I'd want. Only one. Luke had the green first.
He did, yeah. All right, enough Star Wars. People probably don't want to hear Star Wars. I know MZ doesn't.
Ugh.
MZ watched UHF on Pluto TV with ads.
Yeah, and you were busting my balls over it for whatever reason.
Yeah, because you related it to climbing a mountain. We're like, why do people climb mountains? Because they're there. MZ was relating like an actual physical activity that takes planning, strategy, and like actual like physical prowess with watching a fucking movie on,
I felt
on
like
Pluto TV.
it was like being on the beaches of Normandy. I felt like it was Private Ryan, but they were commercials for UHF. Boots on ground.
Well, I was gonna put in why the same reason why a dog licks his balls, because he can. But if I was to say that, you would assume that I was going to be licking my balls while watching UHF.
You're not that flexible.
No, I'm not. Not anymore.
Yeah, see,
I wasn't
anymore.
prepared to do.
Not anymore. You've tried. You've done.
Oh God!
You've managed to get those coconuts in your mouth.
Wow.
No, I mean, Wolfie, you asked, well, first of all, you just, for some reason, you assumed I was home.
Well,
I don't know.
I forget that you watch
you
movies.
thought I didn't have a job.
No, I forget that you watch movies at work.
Were you watching it at work, MC?
During my lunch break, yeah.
Oh,
I was passing the time. What is wrong with watching about a half an hour of UHF at work during lunchtime? What is the problem with that? It's silence. Let's see, that tells you volumes.
I am at a loss, is what the problem is.
Dead silence. That is my answer there.
I was waiting for Aries to answer because he was laughing.
I'm sorry. I'm at a loss because when I'm having I still like I'm sitting at my desk. That's my chance to do office work when I'm having my lunch. Like I'm sending emails
when I'm having my lunch. That's my time to unwind before I have to go back and do more work.
I'm sorry. I don't have such a glorious job, whereas I get to unwind at work. Lunch is when I have to send my emails. Like that's
that's
my world.
Well, that's what you do. And your job demands it, and that's what you have to do. So I mean, that's you.
But you see why I find it weird that you can watch a movie at lunch.
No, I don't find it weird because I've been
No,
doing it.
do you understand why I find it weird?
Not really. I mean,
Okay.
if that's the no, I'm saying because if this is the only life that you know, and this is the only life that you have ever known that you work during your lunch breaks, then I can understand it.
Thank you. Okay, now continue with your story.
Then I can understand it. But Wolfie, on the other hand, I mean, it almost sounded like he was like super dedicated to the fact that you should only be watching movies on DVD. Meanwhile, I don't know if this guy has even seen a DVD in the past 5 years. For instance, Psycho Gorman. Have you watched that yet?
Nope. Well, not my
Nope.
not my Blu-ray. No, I mostly got it to support them.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking.
I may have seen the movie, but I mostly got it to support to support the filmmakers. I'll eventually check it out.
Maybe he doesn't want to unwrap it. Maybe it's a collectible to him.
No, it's not. Thank you for trying, Aries. Though.
Oh no! It's more of a shot towards him with all his toys they can't open.
Yeah.
I got toys around here that are still in packages.
Yeah, I know that.
That's what he just said.
That hence the jab. You're just helping the sword go in, huh?
I know that.
Ooh.
But I mean, all I was doing was watching UHF, and next thing I know, the internet exploded.
It didn't explode.
with Wolfenstein lighting the wick.
I'll be there lighting the wick every single fucking time. Watch you burn. Got to keep it interesting.
UHF. You think
I've known you fucking 30 years now at this point.
Yeah.
We got to keep it interesting, right?
Yeah. Hey, you know me. I mean,
It's a problem.
it's UHF for God's sakes. It was this.
I fucking love
It
that
was
movie.
the part where
I know, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Had I known you were watching on your break on your phone, I wouldn't have said anything. But I don't know what your day off is at your new job, so I assumed you were at home watching a movie.
No, I work Monday through Friday now.
There you go. Well, before you said Mondays off, so I thought maybe you had some weird schedule or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, that was my old deceased and dead job.
Deceased and dead.
Yeah, it's really bad. I fucking missed that place. It was the best place. It was the best job I ever had. I fucking missed that place, man. Oh, God damn it.
Better than scaring the shit out of people at Spooky World.
Yes.
Yeah, it didn't really pay the bills.
No.
If money was the same, would Spooky World be better?
It has nothing to do with the money. It just had to do with the environment. And the environment at Spooky World was questionable at best. Wolfie, you know.
Yeah.
I like lifting boxes and putting them over there.
I
and
like.
then picking them up and moving them over there.
Hey, string bean. At least I can lift up a few boxes. What the hell can you lift up besides a pack of cigarettes?
Clipboard. I have a
I like the physical labor that I do. You know, it doesn't bother me.
It just makes you fucking tired every minute of the day.
Yeah, but only that shows I put in a good day's work. I'm one of those people that believes in putting in a good day's work and not trying to cut corners and try and, you know, fuck around and do whatever, you know, outside of working. You know, I'm a worker. I like to work. And then in my downtime, if I feel like watching
In my downtime, I like to watch UHF. Stanley Spanowski.
if I feel like watching UH fucking F, I will.
My mom.
Aries cuts down trees, shoots seagulls, plows,
I don't shoot seagulls.
My heels.
harass them,
Yes.
gull harassment.
Although I do believe I one-upped MZ today. with lunch break. I took a nap.
There you go.
Yeah, it's something I wish I could do during lunch.
Well, I see. Here, today I had to guard a boat so it wouldn't float away. So I was left out. I was left out in the field. So between the half hour that the guys had to drive to have lunch, and then half hour back, I had an hour and a half to myself. So I took a nap.
You guarded a boat in a field?
No. It was on the water, jackass.
Okay.
In a field.
But it was windy, and we weren't trusting the rope.
So if you fell asleep and the boat drifted away, then
I could start the boat and drive it back to shore.
I mean, you could be asleep for an hour and a half. An hour and a half is a long time for a boat to possibly drift away.
Correct, but I could just simply get up and drive it back within a couple of minutes.
All of a sudden, Aries in the West Indies.
I'm kind of landlocked. I don't know. It's not the ocean.
You guys knew about so you guys all came to, when I used to be a film projectionist, you guys all came to the theater at various times to watch movies.
Yes.
And that job was the fucking best. Now, it didn't pay very well. It's obviously why I'm not a projectionist anymore. But I used to get all the free movies I could get. No one was bothering me. I was like the only, when you're a projectionist, no one, you just start the movies when you're supposed to. That's it. Like, no one really like bugs you. And and typically it was the theater I worked at was 12 screen theater. So it was a pretty big, like, megaplex or whatever you call them. And so you'd start the movies pretty much all within 5 minutes of each other. So, because they want to wrap up, have everyone clean the theaters, get it ready for the next, like, wave, So there'd be, like, a bunch of, like, around 7 o'clock, like between 6:30 and 7:30 or something like that. And then again at, like, 8:30 to 9:30 or whatever. So, like, every 2 hours, and then you'd start them, like, 5 minutes in between. You'd have 5 minutes to go thread up the projector, get it all ready, and then start it. So at times I would have like 90 minutes between when I needed to actually do something, and I always had a walkie-talkie, so if anything happened to one of the films, someone could call me. So sometimes during the day when it was slow, I would go up on the fucking roof because there was like a hatch, like a ladder that led up to the roof. I would go up to the roof of the building, literally like on the top of the actual movie theater. And I would take they were the covers that you put over the films at night, over the platters. I would take one of those, I'd use it as a pillow, and I would take a fucking nap on the roof. I did it maybe 5 to 10 times. I didn't do it a ton, but I'm up there like taking a nap, and I have the walkie-talkie right next to my head just in case something happened, like someone were to call and be like, whichever projector like stopped working or whatever. And thankfully nothing ever happened. People did call up every once in a while, but never with like a big problem, which probably was good. It probably could have lost me my job, but I knew no one was going to come up on the roof, So yeah, that was me sleeping on the job. I would do that. I would read comics. Like, pretty much that's what I did in between screenings.
Raven Shadow, what did you do during your breaks?
Oh, dude, you don't even fucking know, man. There was a time.
Oh, he's asking.
Yeah, no, I mean, there was a job I had where I met my trainer, whose first words to me were, "Hey, G." He always called me G. It's us versus them, and I'm like, all right, I'm fucking with that. And then we would do the first part of the task, and it'd be like, okay, what do we do now? Like, I'm excited. Now we read the newspaper. And then after a few weeks in, then I stopped reading comics.
We need context. What the fuck are you doing? What's the job?
Hey, shifts and balances. You know what I mean? There's things going on in the building. I can't go into too much detail, but there were things, particular structures going on.
Are you still getting money from this company?
I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't even know. I can't confirm and deny that. I'm just saying that there was a certain time frame that I could tell you that most of the bars in downtown Worcester between 11 and noontime would always show Night Court. And there may have been a bar called the Red Baron that would serve you $3 Elio's pizza slabs if you were watching Night Court.
Whoa. A pizza, like a place called the Red Baron didn't serve Red Baron pizza? That's a missed opportunity.
Was a missed opportunity, yeah, but they would do that. There was that. There was circles passed around on break time.
Wait, are you talking about when we go to Rock and Shock?
Yeah.
When you disappear for 2 hours and come back drunk?
Kind of like that. It was kind of like that, yeah. You know what I mean? There's some things I can't go into detail. Wait till the book comes out.
Oh, Jesus.
Corny says, smoke like a chimney. That's what Raven Shadow did.
Oh, like a nerd. Yeah, no, I read a lot of comics. But no, I did have a job, I'm not saying where it was, but no, I missed the hour lunches because there was a time in my 20s where you have the hour lunch. You can go like take a half an hour and then like weeks for the next half hour. And that was good. But I haven't had an hour lunch in Jesus Christ in probably 10 years.
I'm never gonna
See, I remember when I worked at the theater downtown, there's a Chinese food restaurant right next door that didn't card anyone. So we used to go in there all underage and get, like, 4 of us would walk in and get 4 Mai Tais for 2. No, Scorpion Bowls for 2.
Oh, yeah.
Slug those down and be drunk for the second half of the shift at the theater.
That's fun.
Good.
I didn't want to tell you, like, when I obviously haven't been at the office for my job in over a year now, like a year and 2 months or something like that. But during my break, I can just do whatever the fuck I want. I play games, I watch movies, I watch wrestling. Here, obviously, working from home, I usually just go in the other room, watch a show on TV. Like when we were doing the Star Wars Rebels, I would watch like one for lunch or whatever. But yeah. No drinking on the job for me, though, Raven Shadow.
No, just to go. I can't. So many stories I can't tell. You should go to
Wait for the book, right?
Wait for the book. Yeah, it's crazy. Scarlett O'Hara.
Scarlett O'Hara, what?
No, it was a bar near Clark. It was
I think I remember. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was not. It was. Yeah. Wait for the book, or wait till 3 months from now. Then we'll do full disclosure.
All right, well, let's wrap this up. We're just talking bullshit right now. So I think we talked about it last week. Yeah, we did. We released our. Actually, no, we didn't talk about it. We released our May Patreon exclusive episode a few days ago, and that is the second part of a 2-part exploration of found footage films. And in the second episode, MZ gave his top 10 favorite found footage films. So I think some people have listened to it. If you guys have heard it, you have any thoughts, feel free to send them our way. Hopefully you guys dug it. If you disagree with MZ's list, if you agree with it, let us know. And also, we have, we're still in early May, but we're still trying to figure out what we're going to be doing for the June Patreon show. So if you guys have any thoughts or ideas, please send them our way. And we may do another 2-parter. I actually kind of like doing that, kind of like exploring a topic and then kind of like wrapping it up with, we won't always do a list, but wrapping it up with, a different type of discussion. So I think that was fun. So if you guys have feedback on that, those of you that heard it, who are Patreon supporters, please feel free to let us know. And then also if you have any requests for what you'd like to see us do for future episodes, send those to us. Love to hear what you guys want to hear, and then that way we can kind of tailor it for what you guys want. So check that out if you haven't listened to it yet, or if you're not a Patreon supporter, head on over to patreon.com/trickortreatradio, and you can join for as little as $2 a month. Raven Shadow, you want your $2, don't you?
I do.
What can you get with $2 these days?
I mean, if I had 100 more, I could make something else happen. But no, I think it's a good start. $2 is a good start. I could tip a bum.
What?
I could give it to a homeless guy.
Tip a bum.
Yeah. Give a bum a tip.
Just the tip?
Just the tip.
Wow, man. That's fucked up.
I don't know. I mean, is it really? No. I mean, you can contribute to the problem in homelessness in America and also the United States. You know what I mean?
In America and also the United States.
Yeah, which one is it?
Both of them. I don't know, $2. You know what I mean? You know, you can get a.
You can't buy a fucking pack of cigarettes with that.
No, you can't. No,
Yeah.
no, no.
But Raven Shadow will stop at the gas station and ask for change.
Yeah.
Corny says, I was working with a service company like 25 years ago, and the guy I rode with got drunk and left me at a customer's house. I had to call a relative to pick. He said I had to call a relative to pick me up and take me to get my car.
Oh, that's funny.
It's ridiculous.
That is funny.
So so if you guys haven't yet contributed, please head on over to Patreon and consider helping out the show. We don't charge for the weekly show, and we have been doing it for 458 consecutive weeks. That still kind of blows my fucking mind. So, yeah, we haven't missed a single one yet. Every single Friday we drop a new episode, I should say. So it's we're coming up on Cal Ripken's streak, MZ, I think.
We're getting there.
Well, maybe not quite. I'm sure there's other people who've done much more than we have. But yeah, so, and you know, we bring that to you guys free of charge. I know actually Apple Podcasts just had they updated their podcast app, and I guess you can actually you can have people pay for your podcast through Apple Podcasts now, but we have no plans to do that. We want to keep the weekly show free, and in order to do that, we have the Patreon to help pay for everything. We have web hosting, we have podcasts, the podcast host, we have subscription services for to being able to stream the show live, software, all sorts of stuff. So it's not cheap, and we love doing the show, and we love doing it for you guys. And if you want to help contribute, it would mean a lot to us. And if Patreon isn't your thing, if you don't want to do a subscription where you pay $2, $5, $10 a month, there are other ways. But Patreon is the best way because that money goes right to the podcast fund, and that everything that gets taken out, all the sort of like auto build things get taken out of that. So it helps if you guys want to contribute. If you don't want to do the subscription thing, there's a few other ways you can help. And number one is go to trickortreatradio.com and scroll down, look for the Amazon logo. You click it, bring you an Amazon. Most of you shop on Amazon anyways, so if you're going to do it, just click on our link and we get a tiny little cut. It doesn't cost them any extra, Michael Raven Shadow.
But it's another way to help keep the lights on.
Yep, sure is, and we'd appreciate any help there. And especially if you guys use Amazon anyways, it's just one extra click, or you can just bookmark the link and that's your fucking Amazon link. So that helps. And finally, on trickortreatradio.com, we do have a store with some digital goods. Click on store on the front page, and it's going to bring you to the greatest hits of Trick or Treat Radio volumes 1 through 3. So we've been doing the show for 8+ years, coming up on fucking 9. Holy shit, we're coming up on 9 years. That is crazy. And obviously there's a lot of episodes. As I mentioned, 458 weekly shows. We got episode 0. We got the Halloween show. We got the year-end shows. We got the Patreon shows. All kinds of other shows. The Star Wars shows. I think we're probably getting close to 500 episodes total. That's a lot of shit to listen to. We don't expect you guys to go back and listen to it all if you haven't been with us the whole time. But the greatest hits are a way to be able to go back and get little glimpses of the past. It's like a memory, Raven Shadow.
A little bit snippets.
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 You mean whippets?
Wait,
I remember snippets.
Yeah, your boy.
Snippets?
Yeah.
What's up?
Snippets was a little in this area. I don't know about other areas in the country, but in here in this area on WLVI channel 56 on weekday.
LVI.
In between like episodes of the Flintstones and Tom and Jerry, they would have this little, like, I guess it's like a PSA, but it's not really a PSA. It was more like a small little commercial to give kids like projects to do at home, and it was called Snippets, and it was with one P, and the logo was like these 5 worms, and they would all appear, and they would all say Snippets, and they would narrate how you could create some sort of like an object made out of household items, and that will keep you busy for forever. How long an 8-year-old is supposed to be busy for working with these things, and then when that was done, it would go back to the cartoon. This was on during the late 70s, early 80s.
Did that have the magic trick of like taking like the like paper towel over a cup, and to make it disappear, you would like scooch the cup and drop the cup like into your lap on a table, and then you would like slam the paper cup down like, oh Snoop, I'm fucking Doctor Strange. I made the fucking cup disappear.
Yeah. Yeah, they also did one called a Comeback Here, in which they used a coffee can, and they used 2 of the coffee lids outside, opened both ends, put the 2 plastic covers on both ends, but inside would be a rubber band and like a heavy weight, and it would be stretched across the inside of the can and adhered to the 2 lids that are on both sides of the can. Then when you rolled it on the floor, it would start rolling back to you. That's the only one I truly remember, but I remember the one that you're talking about too, vaguely.
It should be called the Get Over Here.
Ta-da!
All right. Well, Snippets and Whippets, is that kind of like Goofus and Gallant, MZ?
Oh, nothing like that at all. Goofus is so awesome.
All right, so we're wrapping this up. So yeah, check out the Great Sets of Trick or Treat Radio volumes 1 through 3 on trickortreatradio.com store. And all right, Raven Shadow, you sit down to watch a movie called Honeydew. What do you do to prepare for this fucking movie?
Oh, well, I think about, I looked at the archives on my old, Honeydew lists, and there are some things that were accomplished, some things that weren't, more things not been done. But, what are you going to do? I'm going to fucking get it done. Just don't fucking ask me every year. You know what I mean? So until that day, until Aries come over and help me work on my Honeydew list, my Aries do list. He can come over with his truck, bring his tools, bring his hammer. I wasn't really going to go here, but I'm not sure it took a darn. Yeah, it's weird. I had something else planned, but then you said Honeydew when I was thinking about Aries, and I'm probably just going to stop it.
Why don't you make a stop at Honeydew Donuts?
Oh, yeah, I have so many gift cards still. We can get the croissants. We can get the iced coffee. It's getting hot in New England. You know what I mean? Because there ain't a fucking Dunkin' Donuts on the cover. There's a fucking Honeydew every fucking other block. So you better believe I'm going to get a fucking bear claw. Strap on.
The following message is a paid advertisement for the Cult of Muscle podcast. The Cult of Muscle. You're either in it or you're dead.
It's the dawning of a new age. The halls of Valhalla have been shuttered. The heroes of yore have either retreated to the shadows or taken to capering for the amusement of the small folk, their past glories a distant memory. The barbells have been torn from their once puma-strong grips. the beards shorn from their square jaws, only to be transplanted onto flannel-clad, puny weaklings with fingers barely powerful enough to strum a ukulele. The time has come, my brothers, to restore order from the chaos. No longer will our heroes be forgotten. No longer will their great deeds be viewed through a foggy lens of irony. Hear now our rallying cry as we scream it from the mountaintops, as we bellow it from iTunes and Libsyn and Facebook. It's time to join the cult, my brothers. So don your cloaks and enter the cult of muscle.
Thank you guys for having me on. It's a blast. You guys are awesome.
Thank you so much.
And, Trick or Treat Radio, man. That's where it's at. That's the new Fangoria Radio is Trick or Treat Radio.
No. Don't say that.
That's like, you really put us under.
It's like swearing in church.
You just jinxed us.
Yeah. you put a lot on our shoulders just now.
Well, we can strive for greatness.
You guys are awesome.
Yeah,
you really are. You got a great show.
Oh, delicious nerds. Ms. M knows you like to chat it up with other sexy shut-ins about comics, movies, video games, and your favorite TV shows. If that sounds like you, cuddle up to the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group, or the FIB. That stands for Fan Interaction Board. Just go to Facebook and search for Trick or Treat Radio and have more fun than a Jedi at a lightsaber sale. Not enough? Watch us on YouTube, The Deadites TV, all one word. Last but not least, check out the world's most dangerous talk radio show, Trick or Treat Radio, at trickortreatradio.com.
I'm gonna do a fucking Russian leg sweep in a pile of donkey nuts!
And we have returned on Trick or Treat Radio. All right, we're going to talk about a movie. That movie is Honeydew. Not Honeydew Donuts, as Raven Shadow thought. Honeydew. This film is 1 hour, 46 minutes. It is directed by Devereaux Milburn, and it is written by Devereaux Milburn and Dan Kennedy. And the film stars Barbara Kingsley, Stephen D'Ambrose, William Adelot, Rachel Arnold. These are kind of unimportant characters. Let me get to the main cast. Jamie Bradley, Sawyer Spielberg, Malin Barr, Joshua Patrick Dudley, and also Lena Dunham. I didn't recognize her. Oh, that makes sense, I guess. Okay, I didn't. Did you guys recognize her?
No.
No. Okay.
Nope.
Also, I didn't. Holy shit! I didn't recognize this dude either. Oh no, never mind. He's someone else. No, I thought he was someone else. Okay. But Sawyer Spielberg is, in fact, Steven Spielberg's son. And I believe, let's see, he's only been in one other film, and that was as a protester. So my guess is it's probably like an extra kind of role or something along those lines. And he was in a short. But other than that, yeah. This is his first, I guess, major acting role. We'll probably talk a little bit more about his acting as we go along. But yeah, it's he was also, I guess, it looked like he did some additional crew for Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. So it looks like he did. Wait, did his dad direct that one? I can't remember. think so. Yeah, he did. Yeah. Okay. All right, and then the director, I believe he might have done one other film. Let me just take another quick look. Devereux Milburn is actually his first feature, so he's done some other shorts. But yeah, this is his first feature. And I think MZ, do you know Barbara Kingsley? I can't remember. I thought there was someone in this that you recognized when we talked about it.
No.
Okay.
No.
She's been in a few films like The Straight Story. I guess she was in Jessica Jones, the Marvel TV show. She's been some TV stuff. So I thought she looked familiar, but I don't recognize her in anything specifically from this. So, all right. And then this is a horror film, and it was released, I think, a couple weeks ago. I think it was in mid-April, if I'm not mistaken. So this film is available on VOD, so if anyone wants to check it out, you'll be able to check it out there. All right, so let's get into this flick. Now, it's got kind of a cool poster. So, like, right off the bat from the poster, it had me sort of intrigued. On one of the posters, anyways, there's a couple of them, but one of them has Sawyer Spielberg's character of Sam with kind of a gas mask over his face, and somebody is like has their hands on his face, like pushing what looks like pushing their thumbs into his face. So it's, kind of a spooky little poster there. So I'll start off by saying this movie started off really slow, like to the point where I was like almost lost me in the movie. Like when they're just driving through town, like I just didn't really like the way it was presented. Like, and maybe it was supposed to be kind of boring because this couple, we have Sam played by Sawyer Spielberg and Riley played by Malin Barr. It seems that they have some sort of there's maybe some issues going on with their relationship. They're both really invested in other things. Like Sam, his character is looks like he's going for an audition for as an actor, and he's trying to memorize his lines. While Riley is studying. I don't remember exactly. Do you guys remember what exactly she was studying?
Yeah, so she was. She was studying plants and botany, and it was actually set in New England.
They filmed it in Massachusetts.
Which I didn't get that from any of the fucking accents. But they made a call out to New England, and even at the end we saw the film in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts thing at the end. But she was more into this region where there was some of the poppy seeds or whatnot that were infecting local people that essentially would make them mad if you basically harvested food. I think it was grain that was fed to cows, and if the people ate the cows, they may suffer from not like quite a dementia or some kind of mental side effect. And I thought they were driving to an audition for him. That's kind of what I took from it for Sam.
Yeah, to me it wasn't. I mean, unless I missed something, it didn't seem clear where they were going at first, right?
It wasn't until things took a turn where he's like, we couldn't just walk for a fucking hike. We couldn't just fucking walk in the woods. We had to come here.
Yeah.
Catch that line? Which was kind of, I thought they were going to a destination.
Yeah, that's what I thought too at first. Because it seemed like it was a road trip or something like that, But I mean, they're showing sort of this. It seems like a really kind of remote town with like a lot of farms and things like that. There's not a lot of not a lot going on. It's not settled all that well. Like there's a lot of farmland and stuff like that. A lot of just like straight roads, and they lost their GPS, meaning, like there just was no good cell signal out there either. And so yeah, I wasn't quite sure what they were doing, and then they ended up camping out in someone's, like, what turns out to be someone's yard. And they also meet that weird kid, right? The skinny kid that was just staring at him.
Yeah, so they're driving, and they lose the GPS signal. And what stuck out to me was the girlfriend was like, "No, we're so close to where we're going. Let me figure it out." And he's like, "No, let me fucking ask this fucking kid on a bike." And the kid might have had some emotional difficulty or whatnot. But when Sam Spielberg, so to speak, comes out, he's being kind of like, he definitely has like trying to be an alpha male type thing. Doesn't get the answer he wants, and they decide to end up camping for the night instead of listening to his girlfriend, who probably has a better sense of direction than he does. But they camp out.
The way that scene was shot was really odd, because they all right, he's on his bike, they drive past him, he's going the other way, and they decide to stop and ask him, for directions or anything like that. But it was to a point where it was like they drove too far away from him for him to acknowledge that they stopped for him to begin with. And then next thing you know, they're kind of like within just a few feet of each other. Meanwhile, they drove by him a couple hundred feet. And also the scene where Sam, he gets out of the car so we can ask the kid. Just the way it was shot just was very unusual to me, because he gets out of the car, and the camera's on the driver's side. He gets out, then he walks over to the edge of the frame, and then starts asking questions. Questions to the kid, and it's like just the way this whole thing was set up just felt very, very unusual and very, very odd and very unprofessional, to be perfectly frank. It just didn't. There's something about it that just didn't feel right to me.
Well, see, I thought that was kind of intentional, off-putting, because they did pass this kid, and then all of a sudden he's behind them. Like, he turned around and started to follow them. Like, it seemed a little shocking that this kid was behind them when he said,
"Yeah,
we'll ask that kid." Like, they realized he passed. They passed him, and he should have been long gone. But now he is right behind him. I felt that kind of was setting the mood for the area in which they were in. That everyone is a little bit off in this area.
Well, I can go along with that, but I would also want to go with the fact that maybe if that was the case, then Sam and what's her name?
Riley
would have been a little bit more put off by there's a possibility that he was following them. It turns out that there was nothing like that at all. No emotional response to the possibility that he was following him. I mean, we might believe that he was following him. I don't know, but there was no emotional response to what they were going through. So,
well, they didn't think he was following them. They just thought it was weird that all of a sudden now he's there.
But there's still no emotional response to that. They just ask the questions, and that's the end of it.
Well, yeah. Well, because at this point in the movie, they suspect nothing. They were a little off put by the fact that he was there, and then they moved on, as anyone would do in that situation. The fact that it is so uneasy adds to the what this movie is trying to build to.
I want to give Corny had a good comment in the chat, and he says that she was studying the ergot on the wheat. It's a spore that has hallucinogenic properties on wheat. And I was just actually reading about it a little bit. It says when a plant is infected with ergot, kernels are replaced by ergot bodies or sclerotia. These ergot, I don't know if it's ergot or ergo, I don't know. But they turn black or dark purple and hard. These bodies grow in place of wheat kernels and can be almost the same size and shape as a wheat kernel. You may also see ergot bodies that are much larger than wheat kernels. And it is toxic. It says that it's a plant disease caused by the fungus, Claviceps purpura. In an infected plant, chemicals that are toxic to both humans and animals, even in small amounts, are produced in the ergot bodies. This toxicity cannot be reduced through processing. Any flour or feed made from ergot-infected cereals, such as wheat, will still be toxic. The impact of ergot on end-use quality is of minor concern when compared with the toxicity of ergot bodies. So it's a legit thing that can be very toxic, I guess. So, it is kind of an interesting thing. I mean, I haven't seen anything like this explored in any films that I've seen. So it is kind of an interesting way to take it. I felt like the filmmaking was a little what's the word look? I guess schizophrenic. Like I got like a little De Palma, right, with like and I know De Palma isn't the only person that does fucking, split screen stuff, but he's like the person you think of when you see like a split screen shot like that. And I think that there was a good amount of that in the beginning. I feel like it got away from that though. And then came back at the end. It just seemed like I don't know, I just feel like it might have been better if it was used more often, because when it appeared, it seemed jarring. So I don't know. I don't know what he was going for with that. It's always kind of an interesting tactic, but I just don't really understand why it was used here.
I got the feeling that the idea was for a couple of shots, and then they threw it in just so it wasn't isolated.
Yeah.
Like they just tried to include it a little bit more.
It was. I actually really dug it during the introduction when they had the credits. Like I thought it was actually well executed there, but it just wasn't used all that much.
What I didn't like about it was, and for some, I don't understand why they did it like this. They had a sound effect going along with the sound of the wipe. It's with the wipe. It sounded like, how like the when when Tom Skerritt's character in Alien is going through the air shafts and those circular things are closing in to trap him in, so the alien doesn't get away, so he can find the alien, Tom Skerritt's character. That's what it sounded like. Yeah, it was like a metallic grinding sound, and I don't understand the point of that at all. If it had something to do with the movie, I never knew what it was. If it's a stylistic choice, I hated it.
Yeah, it was kind of an interesting choice. I don't know. Did anyone feel like it added anything to the film specifically?
No.
I think it added to some of the mystery a little bit. Where they're going, I was intrigued by it. I didn't get Alma. Good, Darius.
Oh no, I'm sorry. The sound effect made you think of where they were going?
No, the split screen.
The split screen. Well, the sound effect in particular, I think, was the question. Do you feel it added to it?
Well, I specifically was asking about just the choice to do the split screen stuff. No.
Oh, the split screen. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I misunderstood what particularly you were asking.
So it's fine. It's a decision. It's a stylistic choice. To me, this when I see that sort of thing, like I think like a mystery or a thriller. Like that's typically when it's utilized, when you're showing something like close up or like a different perspective. And maybe that's not the only time that it's used, but that's like what comes to the top of my head when I think about how it's typically used. And in this, I just I don't know, like it didn't seem like it was part of the style. It just appeared now and then, and especially at the beginning, and so it just seemed a little jarring. It's like, what's he going for here? But once again, stylistic. It's the director's movie. He can do whatever the fuck he wants to do. But it just did seem a little odd. But this is kind of like, this doesn't deviate too far from the, and I'm not saying that this is the first film to do this, but like House of a Thousand Corpses style of, Texas Chainsaw Massacre style story, right? Where, someone's in a strange place and their car breaks down or they're lost or they need help of some sort. And in this case, they went camping on someone else's property, and that person, Yuli, came by and said that Euli, Raven Shadow.
Oh, Yuli.
So he basically came by and said that they had to leave, and so they had nowhere to go at this hour, so they were just going to go home. At Raven Shadow, yes.
So this is a part in the picture where really I started getting really ants in my pants.
When they were fucking in the tent?
No. So once again, they're driving. I forget if they don't get stuck or they end up camping out in this rural New England area, which we learned. And they're doing that thing, having a campground, middle of the night. Someone shows up saying you're on my property. So I think Aries probably cringed in this as well. I could be wrong, but
don't speak for Aries.
Yeah, you're probably wrong. Go ahead.
No, really? I think you would have acted differently than my boy Sam did. But so it's clearly that they have different agendas. They're preoccupied. But when the landowner shows up, Sam retreats into doing fucking nothing. But if you're there,
he doesn't retreat. She silences him.
No. He fucking did a fucking turtle head like a motherfucker.
He was going to say something. She held him back.
Yeah. That's the impression I got.
She put her hand over his mouth.
No, after he originally retreated when he had his little fucking, not David Bowie, Daniel Boone little knife, thinking he was a fucking woodsman, that he was carving something, thinking he was fucking Aries in the woods. But when that person showed up, that dude was a downright fucking punk. It wasn't until she was engaging with Yuli that he might start to get a little bit of fucking, cocky to it. But
she silenced him.
He was a punk, dog. He was a fucking punk.
Okay, you might have looked away or were getting a fucking Uncrustable. She silenced him. He was going to speak up. She stopped him.
Yeah. He was a punk motherfucker, dude.
Okay, wait. No. Let's take a poll. Stop.
Okay.
Who agrees with me? Who agrees with Raven Shadow?
I agree with Aries.
I agree with Aries.
Here's the only reaction in that situation. If you were on a land that didn't belong to somebody and the landowner shows up, you don't gotta be a fucking punk about it, but you say, "Sir, we're sorry. Didn't understand this was your land. What can we do to make this right? We had an issue. We're moving forward. You have an engagement." That dude retreated with his little fucking Daniel Boone knife, and his girlfriend stepped up to the plate to try to engage.
You know what?
He did have the knife. He did have the knife.
Stop. He was going to speak. She knew he was going to be out of line and be rude, so she stopped him from talking. Because he was not going to handle it appropriately.
He cowered.
He did not cowl.
The scene
did not cower.
Yes, he did. There's a scene in the tent where he fucking retreats like he's fucking going back into the womb. Watch it again.
You watch it again. You watched a different fucking movie.
I have to. No, I don't have to watch it again. I saw the fucking picture. He was a punk douche.
He wasn't a.
He was a punk douche, dude.
Punk douche dude?
No, Aries the dude. This dude was the punk douche. He was a punk motherfucker, dude.
He was going to be out of line. She stopped him because he is the type of guy to be out of line.
But the correct response would be respectful to the landowner.
And he was not going to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
She did that. She knew he was not going to do that because even after she spoke, he still was rude after they were trespassing.
Dude, watch it again, dude. Watch it again.
You watch it again.
MZ's watching it right now.
Yeah.
You watching it, MZ?
Yeah.
Oh, he's watching fucking UHF.
I am. No. Hey, I'm not at work, okay?
Wait,
And
is Honeydew on Pluto TV?
She silenced him, but he does have the knife in his hand. He was going to go off. He was going to do something inappropriate. He didn't know what kind of person he was dealing with. She didn't know what kind of person that she was dealing with, and they weren't going to take any chances. So he was ready to do something or say something, but she stopped him. He didn't cower in the slightest.
Totally coward. He totally cowered. I wish we were in studio. We could watch it again and cite every little bit of fucking punk ass.
You apparently we have different definitions of the word cower.
And
dude, watch
let
it again, dude.
Let me ask this. Even if he did cower, like what's wrong with that? If that's what his character does.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
To cower?
Yeah.
You have to at least put your fucking clothes on and engage the person. Have a dialogue. Say something. Let's say if we're on your territory, we're apologetic. You know, is it something we can work out? But there was no.
So
that's what she did.
Okay, that's what she did. So you have a problem with the fact that she spoke?
did it poorly. She did it poorly as well. She did it better than him, but there was very poor diplomacy skills in that.
How so?
It was just done wrong. It was done wrong.
How so? How would you have done differently?
I feel I just said that. So
how would you have done it differently?
I would have put my fucking clothes on and I would have fucking engaged the landowner and said, "Sir, I apologize for being on your land. Is there something we can do to make this right? Can we stay here tonight? And then we'll be first thing in the morning. If we need to leave tonight, we'll do this. Give us some time to make it work." You have to engage.
Well, she got 2 hours. She said we'll be off in 2 hours. Off your property in 2 hours.
But hiding.
She asked straightforward, "Do you want us to leave?"
Right. So now what you have to do is you have to also put it back on the other person as well.
You don't. You don't. You are trespassing.
You're trespassing, yeah.
You are trespassing.
Engage, but you have to have some diplomacy skills.
Oh my God, are we actually going through all this?
Yep.
Apparently, yes.
It's not.
This is what MZ. This is what it's like when me and you argue.
No, and they came across as fucking whack. They were fucking whack.
Because they were trespassing.
They didn't know they were trespassing.
At first, yeah.
Everything belongs to someone.
Yeah, it's called the government. Okay.
That obviously that wasn't government land. You can't just throw a tent up on someone's property.
Well, I'm picturing a tent right now hearing you talk. What do you think about that? You're so sexy. No,
stand up for yourself, because I'm telling you to fucking pack that tent up.
Yeah, but that's why you engage. You engage.
And they sure don't take 2 hours to do it too.
Well, what you don't know? I mean, what if the dude had a gun?
Well, yeah. Well, what if he can't fucking shoot straight? That's why you fucking engage with someone.
You engage.
Just because you got a gun, you ain't fucking Billy the fucking Kid. You know what I mean? Like, you engage somebody.
Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding?
No, not
so if you confront a guy with a gun, you're gonna bank on the fact that maybe he can't shoot it right.
You could have
because you know what? A farmer protecting his land is going to show up with buckshot.
Yeah,
well,
and he'll know
a blind man can kill you with buckshot.
First of all, somebody please shoot me, just in general. Make it all go away. But no, you have to have some level of fucking stones and balls, and at least some diplomacy skills. And this dude.
I tell you what, because this has gone on far too long. I want you to rewatch that, and next week I expect an apology.
So do I. I have to watch it again. I watched it once the first time.
Oh, yeah. You know what? You didn't. I am going to rewatch that scene. I expect you to rewatch that scene, and I expect an apology from you.
Then you
Let's move on to the next 10 minutes of this movie we can argue about.
I just rewatched it, and he didn't cower.
Punk motherfucker.
Let's move on.
Steven Spielberg would be like,
I'm trying.
Dummies.
God,
wow, dummies. All of us, Raven Shadow?
Not you.
You're not so far away. I won't drive to beat your ass.
Miss you so much.
Yeah, everyone's. Wait, are you fully vaccinated, Raven Shadow? No, you just had the first jab, right?
Brother, yeah. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday.
Oh, okay.
I'll throw on 2 masks to punch you in the fucking face.
That makes me sad. That makes me sad that you would say that. Take that back.
Why? When you're wrong, you're wrong.
You love me so much.
Yeah, but admit you're wrong.
Corny says, I've seen Coco D, Coco Da. Nothing good ever happens when a couple decides to go and camp out. He's right.
And Corny, fuck, you call me. You come over, brother. That's what made me fucking think of that punk motherfucker in that movie, too.
Wolfie, continue, please.
All right, fine. I will stop. I will stop.
I doubt it.
I'm just saying, if someone comes to your tent, put your fucking pants on like a fucking grown. Is that fair? Put your fucking pants on. Right? Corny.
Oh, I got a headache.
Go camping. Go camping. See what happens.
Well, how about this? Well, no camping, period. No problems, right? No camping, no problem.
That's why I stay home, dude.
Yeah, just stay home.
Just stay home.
All right. So, anyways, they offer to leave, and they say, "Can we just have a couple hours to get everything packed up?" And the guy says, "Yeah." So they get the tent packed up. They get everything in the car. They go to start the car, and of course, the car does not start. So now they're kind of fucked. They walk to a nearby house, probably the first house they saw, and that's when we meet Karen, who is played by Barbara Kingsley. And then we see Goonie, played by Jamie Bradley. And this was an interesting scene, right? This actually reminded me of Hansel and Gretel, like this kind of scene, right? Like,
Yeah.
And so, anyways, they just say they need to borrow her phone really quick to call AAA because their car broke down. And so Karen says, well, AAA will take at least a couple hours to get out here. Let me call Pete, and he can come help. Pete will be here in like 45 minutes. So she's like, well, and if you want, while you wait, I have dinner. I'll make you dinner and we'll eat. So then there's just there's something really odd about Karen, right? Like something off about her. And then you see Goonie, who has a bandage like on his cheek and like going all the way around his head, and he doesn't talk. He seems very out of it. And he's in a wheelchair. So something's going on here, right? Like it's not quite sure what the deal is. But then she talks about how, she's making steak and she has all these sweets and all this food. And I actually like that scene. I like the dinner scene, the cooking scene when she was like cutting up the green beans and stuff. Like I just thought that scene was pretty effective the way they did it.
I'll tell you, I never thought food would look as gross as it does. I mean, I am a omnivore. I do love my meat products. I do love my vegetables and everything like that. But damn, the food in this movie doesn't look too appetizing at all. It really kind of turns your stomach in both the meat and the vegetable department.
I don't know. That bread looked good.
Yeah,
the bread does look good. But like the scene like where she's cutting up the green beans, and there's like close-ups of her cutting the tips off the green beans, and like one of the tips of her fingers is completely black.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, but the green beans, they look kind of slimy and gross. They don't look too good at all. And you got the guy with the bandaged face, and he's like dipping like I think they're like lemon wedges or orange wedges into
lemon
salt or sugar or whatever it was. Yeah, it might have been lemon. And he's just munching away at them, and she's just shucking away at the corn, and the corn looks kind of gross when she gets done cooking. It looks fine but in the beginning, but when she gets all done with it, it really looks unappetizing. So I kind of like the way they presented the food preparation in this scene, because it does look very nasty.
Well, I thought it was interesting with the whole everything was older, even down to the stove, fridge, and it had definitely a air of times past, and it almost had like a Twilight Zone the movie type feel, almost like slightly cartoony how it emphasized the food. I thought Amos Johnny, I thought the meat looked good cooking it, but when there was any consumption, it did come across very gross, and I think that grossness in the consumption continued as the film progressed. And I almost wasn't sure if it was almost like are we seeing it this like vibrant in the colors, and would there be a scene where we might see it being not quite as it's shown? You know what I mean? Like it just seemed it was very gross in some ways. Anybody do?
And I think that was done with purpose. I thought that scene was well done, and even the way that Riley was trying to like kind of take care of things and be cordial and nice, and they've invited us into their house, and they're a little weird, but like let's kind of go with it and make the best of the situation until the dude gets here and helps us fix our car. So, but then you have Sam just kind of goes off and like, did you guys even know what he was eating? Like I didn't see what he was eating when he was in the bathroom. Like I just saw he had something in his hand. Was it like a
it seemed like some kind of brownie or something.
Brownie or something, yeah. Something sugary and I thought it was like a tasty cake or something like that or whatever.
Prepackaged, mass-produced pastry.
Yeah.
Little Debbie, or like a, you think it was an edible?
No, I just because of the diet she had him on, just any kind of mass-produced sugary treat he wasn't supposed to eat.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because he had a health issue, so he was forced to kind of like curtail his stuff.
Was it cholesterol? I think she's because she
cholesterol.
She told him
high cholesterol.
She told him the number. She's like, "Yep, it was like something, so like whatever the number is." And he's like, "Yeah." So he's not supposed to eat red meat, no processed food, very little sugar. You could tell that there was tension between them because he's like, "Oh well, I have, like X amount of chicken every month or something like that." And she's like, "Oh no, you have this amount." Like just the way she was like correcting him, I thought was like, okay, I see kind of what's going on. And she was, as she mentioned it, and she was a vegan, and of course, like the woman Karen was like completely oblivious to what that even means. Even though she wasn't even listening to her about that stuff, but which I guess even later on in the movie makes that all even more disgusting, knowing her sort of like predilection for food or food choices. But yeah, I thought that scene was fairly well done. At this point, I was kind of getting a little bit more into it. I think the opening scene just didn't really do it for me. Like with the style sort of a little all over the place in terms of having these like the split screen and stuff like that. It just didn't make sense to me. And then the beginning was just really fucking boring. Like listen to that like talk about botany and him trying to read his lines. It just, I don't know, like I was just like, this better not be the fucking movie, because it just was like dragging, but I think it was I mean, in hindsight, I think they were trying to show how in their own bubbles these two were. You know, like they weren't really a couple. They were just like in their own little bubbles doing their own thing, right?
It's more of a relationship of convenience.
Yeah,
that had not been, had isn't as convenient as it was.
Yep, I would agree with that. So then we have they get brought downstairs to the basement where they're going to stay. I guess Karen says that Goonie will stay upstairs and they can have his room or whatever. And so then when they go down there, it's kind of funny. Sam takes a shower, and then afterwards he goes back upstairs and he actually eats the food because that he's not, that his girlfriend doesn't want him to eat. So he has like a steak. He's got like the whole fucking thing. He's got like the sweets out. He's got like the whole fucking like 4-course meal out on the fucking table, right? It's got the whole spread.
Yeah.
Go ahead, MZ.
Yeah, and well, also don't forget the shower scene. Doesn't Sam jerk off in the shower?
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
And while he's in the shower, she's sneaking one of those cupcakes.
Oh, true. I always forgot about that. Yeah.
Which I would hazard to guess isn't vegan because the woman has no interest in vegan.
Yeah, no.
But also you got Goonie who's drinking, I guess it's milk through a tube, not even a straw.
No,
It was
lemon. It was lemon water.
Oh, was it lemon water? Okay, I was wondering why it looked a little loose. Okay, but he's drinking it through this really long tube, and he's like, and whenever he's like being fed, he's like convulsing and shaking like a leaf and everything like that, and so there's something going on with him. The couple gets their picture taken by Karen with a Polaroid.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just after Sam's jerk off session in the shower, they retreat down to the basement where they just lay on the bed for a little while.
Well, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think that's after Sam had the big feast, and he like got the TV all set up to face him. He was watching cartoons, and he just like started feasting. And he's like, "Oh my god, this is so good!" Like he's just like, "Oh fuck!" Like you could tell he hadn't had something like that in a while. And then fucking Goonie comes down and is all creepy and weird, and obviously he can't talk or doesn't talk or chooses not to. And then he like takes the TV and angles it towards him, and then at some point Sam passes out on the table, and then just kind of wakes up at like I think it was like 1:46 or something like that. It was like 1 a.m. and then kind of saunters down stairs to look for Riley, and the shower's running, but she's not in there. So he goes to look for Riley now. And this is when we get into a little bit of a spoiler territory, but you've seen this kind of film before, like the general idea. So there's not a lot of new ground being broken, which I think that's the thing that disappointed me a little bit, was that it just was kind of played it. I mean, sure, there was some, the added sort of like hallucinations and stuff like that, but it just kind of played it kind of like kind of paint by numbers, right? In a sense. Did you guys
Very
get that?
much so.
Yeah.
Much so, yeah. I mean, this is all about, class. I don't want to say warfare, but this is a battle of classes. You got your aspiring actor with his
botanist girlfriend,
school, college attending,
educated
to be a botanist girlfriend, educated girlfriend, clashing with this backwoods redneck
Yokels.
Yokels, yeah. And so we've seen, it's like you said, we've seen this before many, many times, and we've seen it much, much better than this. Very rarely worse than this, in my experience, anyway. And like you said, Wolfie, there really is nothing new here. There's nothing interesting, nothing shocking. Nothing, and I don't think it's because it's been played out. I just don't think there's anything really here to sink your teeth into. No pun intended. I don't know if that's the fault of the director or the writer, or maybe they're one of the same. I don't know. I didn't really look. Well,
the director did co-write it with someone else.
Okay, yeah. This was kind of a disappointment. By around the halfway point, I almost felt like shutting it off, and I never felt that way about a film before.
Raven Shadow?
Because it was I just felt like it was getting a little bit too crazy for the sake of being crazy and thinking that that's what we were expecting. Like the scene down in the basement where the couple is watching that guy on TV, the
sermon,
cable access guy,
whatever. Yeah.
There's like literally nothing to do with anything that's going on in this film, yet that gets an amazing amount of screen time considering. I think it was just done for the sake of trying to up the ante as far as weirdness goes, and I think it just doesn't work. Take that along with some of the strange shots, some of the sound effects, even the score. The score was just irritating me.
I thought the score was somewhat interesting, but yeah, go ahead.
I didn't find the score interesting at all. I thought it was awful. And now, I mean, if this is a way to make us feel like we're living through their eyes, through Sally's eyes, it just didn't work, as far as I'm concerned. Ta-da!
Ta-da! The end. So the end. Let's jump to the end because I want to avoid spoilers. But the end was the end satisfying? Did the end surprise anybody? Just talk about like general thoughts about the ending, I guess. Start with Aries, I guess.
Oh yeah, the ending. I mean, I was not shocked as where this movie was going at all. I thought they kind of just kind of handed it out as to what they were doing. Yeah. I think they thought they were being a little, sleek and hint, hint, wink, wink, but it was just too heavy-handed for me. I knew exactly what was going to happen in this movie, so the ending was very just. It was like, oh yeah, okay, here we are.
Yeah.
Now, see, I wasn't too sure about how it was going to end because I wasn't too sure how anything was going on in this movie. So the ending, as far as I was concerned, was very open-ended. But for the most part, yeah, I'm agreeing with you, Aries. It just didn't feel it. It was rather heavy-handed. It felt very empty and predictable. Actually, you kind of saw where this was going.
Rave Shadow.
I don't know, man. I mean, are we doing the verdict now? I mean,
I'm just asking about the ending.
All right. Well, I think it was, fuck. I feel like it's more of a verdict stuff, but
it's not. I just. What was your impression of the ending? Did you like the way it went? Was it predictable? It's not a verdict.
It was fucking weird, but fine.
All right. Thanks for your contributions.
Well, I mean,
wow! Did you watch this movie? Are you pulling your shit again?
No. I've been doing better. I'm being more present. But no, I mean, there's some things we haven't fucking mentioned yet, too. We haven't mentioned a surprise fucking guest star that showed up. That was like, oh.
We did when you weren't. I mentioned her earlier when you were out of the room.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
If you were present, you would have known that.
True.
I said I'm working on it, Aries.
Will work better.
That's
we're fucking 8 years into this shit and you're still not present.
That's a convenient excuse.
I'm trying because yes. But no, there was some fucking. I'm not gonna say the movie that it reminds me of, but just saying. What are you gonna do? Right? Get to the fucking haunted house. Get to the kids in the mall. Get to the mall if you're in mall rats. Get to the movie if you're in fucking Haunted Mansion. Get to the fucking movie. Get to the water if you're in Jaws, right? Get them to that fucking dance. And the movie got them to the fucking dance in a little bit different way. Fucking
so we're gonna hand out a fucking Oscar for that?
Yeah, my uncle Oscar, the Mucha.
It got him to the house. Great.
Yeah. Get him. Get the out of towners to the fucking redneck fucking inbred whatever the fuck town. It did its job, right? You know, CM Punk in the haunted house movie with the fucking lactating walls, that's different. Didn't see that in Poltergeist. Give me something different. What are you gonna do?
Wow. I don't even know what I'm gonna do now after hearing that.
I would fight a 70-year-old woman if it came down to it. Just saying.
And lose.
Call you.
All right. Yeah, for me, the ending. I mean, I guess I kind of was leading with my question, but I do think that this was just, as I mentioned, paint by numbers. Like I knew pretty much nothing really surprised me. The ending, the only thing that surprised me was that like there was some weirdness that was like, why did they do that, or why is this like some of the hallucinations, which I get, you know, now that you know, read about the ergot, the kind of like toxic wheat, kind of makes sense, but it still was like, I don't know, like it just didn't really. Not that it like this is not. I'm not saying it needs to explain everything, but I feel like the rules weren't laid out well enough in this movie. You know, like it just was like taking you on this ride, and you're just along for the ride, and you just accept everything because that's what you're being fed, just like this movie, right? like what happens in the movie. But I don't know. Like I feel like it had some promise early on. Like some of the when they first got to the Karen's house, I thought that was promising with the dinner scene and stuff like that. But I think from there it just was predictable. There's like the barn in the back, you know, and you know what's going to be the dilemma here. Like what is going to be driving the action? You know, like something has to change, and what happened is what you would expect in this kind of movie as it's advancing, as it's going on. So yeah, and the ending, I don't know if it was supposed to be like a surprise ending. But to me, I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. You know, when it went the way it did. So I don't know. Like, and by the way, I want to ask you guys, being as vague as possible, did what I think happened at the end between Sam and Lena Dunham's character happen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Just, I mean, I thought so, but you know, it was a little vague as to maybe what was happening.
Oh,
yeah, that's what I was thinking too, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, Ray Charles saw that. Yeah, that happened.
There is. I mean, there's a hallucination. See, I get it.
Easy for you to say.
Hallucination. That looks like it could have been interesting, and you know, the director filmed what they were supposed to film, and which, in that effect, kind of works. But the way it was cut into the film and just the way it just looked like they just filmed a bunch of strange scenes and just plopped it in the middle of the film and adding no post-production to it at all whatsoever, to make it appear to be more of to make it appear as if it's a hallucination scene. Meanwhile, it is a hallucination scene. It's just lacking any of the tropes that a hallucination scene would have. All it has is just a couple of wacky scenes, and that's pretty much it. So
the problem is they lead you to believe they're kind of steering one way with what's happening. They don't hint or allude to hallucinations at all. And had they done that, things would have made a little more sense. They kind of direct you towards one thing in the beginning of this, and it is partially correct, but they leave out things, and there's no indication towards the hallucination towards this at all.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's kind of a mess.
And yes, I am sure, Raven Shadow.
But you don't think the hallucinations was kind of put on a tee?
No.
As they're happening, but as to why they're happening, it isn't made clear.
Well, I think we know now, but
now,
yeah,
yes.
You guys did 15 minutes in. Like I think you guys watched the wrong movie. You guys watched Guardians of the Galaxy? I'm just fascinated.
Look at you, cocky motherfucker! When you're sitting alone in a room.
Yeah, yes.
Do you have your monocle on underneath those sunglasses, Raven Shadow?
Monocle. Oh, I get my monocle.
You know what? You're not allowed to watch with Marion anymore because she gives you ideas and you don't know where you're going with them.
Still passed the class, brother.
No, you didn't. Not yet.
Marion, what does this mean? Marion, what does that mean?
I'm like, what's he doing?
So, all right. Well, I think we could probably head to verdict on this one. Or was there anything else, Raven Shadow? Any other? Want to put your monocle on and talk about anything else?
I don't want to fucking piss Aries off anymore.
I do. I want to see him fight you.
MZ does. He wants to see me redirect towards someone else.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's do the verdict.
Trick or treat, baby. I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right, it is verdict time. We're going to let you know whether this film was a trick or a treat and any final thoughts we may have. Let's start with Matza Zero.
Hey, what is the purpose of the funeral at the beginning of the movie? Who knows? What's the purpose of anything in this movie? The reaction shots between Sam and Riley are really, really poor. There's one scene that I saw it and it just grates on me on how bad the actress who played Riley was. She was terrible. But then again, she's just reading what the script had, and the director finalized it. It's all about it all comes down to class, a battle of class, and upper class, so-called upper class is fine. They have their issues, but they're for the most part okay, while the lower class rednecks are wacky, so
I know this is your verdict, MZ, but I don't think, that wasn't I think it just was happenstance. I don't think they were going after a particular type of person, I don't know if that's what you're trying to say, but I feel like their status had no effect on whether or not they would have done this.
Okay, yeah, but name a movie that's like this that doesn't do that.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, there were a bunch of kids, right?
Well, yeah, they're a bunch of kids, but they're still battling against inbreeding rednecked, you know, inbreeding redneck family, like this. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Deliverance, House of a Thousand Corpses. This film, I mean,
But I think it's
it's all
purely happenstance. That's just
Yeah, I'm going to agree. I just think you're reading too much into it.
well, that's what I see. I mean, they live out in the middle of not in the middle of the woods, but they live out in the middle of nowhere, own a lot of property. But
So instantly they're backwoods hicks.
No, everything else kind of proves that they're backwoods hicks. I'm just adding a little bit more to their personality. But anyway, regardless, this is one to avoid. Honeydew is a honey don't. This is a trick.
Wow, how long did it take you to think of that one?
About 2 seconds.
Holy shit, that's a good one, man.
That isn't a good one. Come on.
Yeah, it is. All right.
God damn it.
All right, let's go to Aries.
Oh God. Yeah, for the most part, I'm going to agree with MZ. There's potential with this movie, and it is a lot of missed potential. The acting in this, for the most part, is subpar. The old woman, I thought, does an above average job at portraying the uneasiness with this whole situation and making people feel uncomfortable with doing little to nothing. And for that reason alone, her acting is a step above. But the story, we've seen this 100 times. It is paint by numbers, and they kind of painted with a broad brush because you can tell the same story again and make it interesting if you find your niche. And they did not. They just kind of broad brush paint and called it a day. So there was very little interesting about this movie. So you can kind of bypass this. This is a trick.
All right, let's go to Michael Shadow.
Listen, it ain't fucking Casablanca. You know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna fucking do? I still think that the reason behind why the bad people were doing bad things was interesting, and I think it made sense. And maybe because it was set in New England, where you couldn't fall back on some of those old tropes. I liked the reason for it. And I think it could maybe be argued that our two main characters of Sam and Riley went on a collision course with their destinies in terms of what they were looking to do for their careers, whether it's her career or maybe even in a sense Sam's career, where he was acting, but in real life, punk motherfucker. But still, he was acting like a hard ass on the fucking toilet, reading the lines. But in real life, in the tent, clutching the fucking, his fucking Daniel Boone knife like a fucking baby on a big wheel.
Oh, so it's kind of like you.
To be fair, but regardless. But no, I mean, it's a tale as old as time. But overall, I thought there were some differences. I like drug shit being involved in reason why you're doing some nefarious stuff. I thought young Spielberg, hey, he did a good job. If only he had knew someone who could make other movies get a job later on in the future. But he was fine. I like the cast. I thought Crazy Karen was kind of twisted in a weird fucking way when she was getting tuned up. What are you gonna do, man? I mean, I don't know. It is what it is.
I think you're going to say a magic word right now, and let's move on.
Yeah, Shazam. No, tepid treat, man. What are you gonna do? Ain't fucking terrible.
All right.
Tepid treat. I would. Sorry, I would. I think what they maybe some of the missteps in the footage. I'll tell you right now, all the split screens they did was way fucking better than fucking Ang Lee's fucking Hulk. Because I would watch this fucking picture more than that fucking picture any fucking day long. So I'm that I whatever they do next, I want to see what they do next. So.
Okay, at the risk of going off on a tangent, I would argue that those split screens are far better served in that movie than in this movie. The Hulk split screens served that movie better than this one.
Johnny, go to commercial.
No, we'll go to my fucking verdict. Yeah, this film didn't really do much for me. I actually didn't think Sawyer Spielberg was a very good actor at all, which, given his pedigree, you'd think that he, would have, I don't know, had some more acting chops. I don't know. Maybe his destiny is behind the camera, much like his dad. But I don't know. There's just a couple scenes. For the most part, he was fine. I won't say too much, but I think there's a couple scenes where it's slightly cringeworthy. And other than that, I thought the acting was just was fine. I did like the actress who played Karen, who was Barbara Kingsley. I thought she was creepy and she played it well. But yeah, I mean, this, as I mentioned, this film just was kind of paint by numbers. It didn't really do anything different, and not that a film has to do something different, but if you're going to paint by numbers, give us something memorable. Give us something that will set your film apart from the rest of the pack. And while I think what they did with the wheat, I think was an interesting way of taking it, I just feel like this maybe not the vehicle for that idea. Like I feel like maybe you want to do like a bigger kind of like in scope picture, maybe something like The Crazies or something like that. But having it be such a kind of small contained thing, just it didn't work as well for me. Yeah, it's hard for me to recommend this because there's a lot of other movies out there that are similar enough that are better. So yeah, it's gonna be a trick for me. So that is gonna do it for our discussion of Honeydew. You guys can use your own judgment. If you want to check it out, please check it out. If you don't. I'll sweat our far back. Next week, though, I think the movie we're going to do next week, whether we like it or not, is going to be an interesting little watch. And we're doing a movie that's going to be appearing on Shudder. It's a Shudder exclusive. Let me just see, make sure I got the date right on when it's coming out. It is hitting VOD tomorrow, actually. So Friday, May 7th. It's gonna not VOD. I'm sorry, Shudder. It's gonna be hitting Shudder. It's a Shudder exclusive, and the name of that movie is Fried Barry. It's got some drug use, Raven Shadow.
Nice.
Let me read the synopsis real quick, because this one sounds like it could be interesting. Fried Barry, I think it's actually South African, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Is that, do you know that for a fact? Was it a South African film? Yeah, South Africa.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was filmed in Cape Town, South Africa. Okay. Barry is a drug-addled, abusive bastard who, after yet another bender, is abducted by aliens. I'll just stop there. There's more to it than that, but I'll stop there. Because the synopsis, it may be I don't want to give too much away. So, but yeah, Fried Barry. It is available on Shudder starting Friday, May 7th. So we'll check that out for next week. And if you guys want to play,
as a matter,
go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, as a matter of fact, I've been Facebook friends with the director for a number of years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ryan Kruger.
Yep. He's a big Morbid Vision fan. So.
Oh, okay, cool. I wonder if there'll be like a shout out in the thank yous or something like that in the credits.
Maybe.
Looks like he's directed a lot of shorts mostly. Yeah, Jesus, he's got 31 shorts.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
nuts.
he's always working.
Pretty prolific as an actor. He's also an actor. He was in that show Warrior. Have you guys seen that show Warrior? I think it's on HBO Max. It was a Cinemax show. But it's kind of loosely based on Bruce Lee's initial sort of ideas for kung fu. I watched the first episode and I actually really dug it. I just haven't gone back to it yet because there's other stuff that I'm watching. But it looks like he plays a character in that. And he's been in some other stuff. Mostly looks like small TV or films, and also shorts and stuff like that. But yeah, it seems like playing the character of Gareth on Warrior is a pretty good role for him. So, but yeah, now he's directing, and he's put out his first feature in Fried Barry. So we'll be checking that out next week. So if you guys want, check it out on Shudder. All right. Evil Corny says, "Amen, Raven Shadow. Fuck that Hulk."
Corny.
Don't make him Ang Lee. You won't like him when he's Ang Lee. All right, we got voice messages. Let's check in with Tim from Melbourne, from Down Under. Tim Chuma.
Bombaleo. Tim from Melbourne again. Just recording this on my phone because I've rolled over the cable that goes to my computer, and I have to rush out before work and get a new one because the one I got today didn't work. Just a couple of new things I've read, and first one was The Other Side of the Ring about female wrestlers in the US. Delilah Doom, Shelly Martinez, Keta Megan, and Katrina Lee Waters. Depends on if you know who these people are and how much you're into wrestling. They reused a lot of the footage because of the rights issues and some odd clip art and stuff. See how you go. Just have a look at a preview before you commit to it. And two new comics this week. Iron Fist Heart of the Dragon 5. Probably go back and read the first 4 before you go into that one. And the War of the Bounty Hunters is a new crossover event, which is really good. Based between Jedi, Empire and Jedi, and all the bounty hunters are fighting each other. And it's a crossover story like they usually do with DC, across 4 different series. So that's probably people have already ordered it. From what I've heard, I went into a shop and the sales assistant said, "Yeah, I've ordered this already." So, all right, thanks.
All right, Tim. Thanks for checking in, man. And actually, I wasn't familiar with the other side of the ring, so I appreciate you mentioning that. Looks like it's a documentary about women's wrestling. This is documentary filmmaker Jeremy Norrie's latest piece of work, The Other Side of the Ring. Begins in just the way that you'd hope if you were anyone who loves wrestling. An opening shot of Keita Rush throwing a Hurricane Rana to a roaring crowd of WoW wrestling fans. So he did mention Katrina Waters, who was in WWE. What was her name? MZ, you might remember. Do you remember the Pirate wrestler in WWE? And he had his sister. No, this is a little bit later than that. Damn, I'm drawing a blank.
Pirate.
Drawing a blank.
Yeah, his sister.
Well, anyways, Katrina Waters. If I'm not mistaken. Oh, maybe I'm thinking of the wrong person. But anyways, the person I'm thinking of, maybe I'm thinking of the wrong person. But the person I'm thinking of is Katarina Lee Waters, and she was in Karate Kill, and she was also, I think she was also in one of Carando's other movies. She was also, I'm trying to figure out what her wrestling name was.
Oh! I know who you're talking about now. Damn it, Kari Sane.
No. She's not Japanese. She's British, I believe.
Oh.
I'll find it. Katarina Lee was one of the names. Oh, Katie Lee Burchill. That was it.
Okay. Yeah.
Paul Burchill was the her
Right.
in-ring brother. Well, not real brothers, but yeah, and they tease like a little kind of weird angle, almost like a Skywalker type angle.
Skywalker, yeah, that came up on the May the 4th too, by the way.
But yeah, she's since gone on to do acting now, and she was in. I remember Carando brought her up on the podcast once before when he was on talking about her, yeah, she I think she still does wrestle, but she's mostly acting now. But yeah, sounds interesting, Tim. So I'll have to check that out. All right, let's now go to the next voice message. And let's hear from Arkham Josh.
Hey, Trick or Treat Radio guys, it's Arkham Josh here, just calling in with a quick message on my thoughts on this week's film. Honeydew. I had not heard about this, so I had kind of no expectations going in, and I don't know, I'm just going to be upfront, it didn't work for me. I can't really pick anything that really the film did wrong, because, you know, nobody's necessarily, the acting's not bad, it has a decent look, it really is kind of right up my alley. It seems like a semi-pretentious, super quirky, redneck family film. And so kind of all of those things combined really should work for me. It's got some genuinely kind of disturbing content towards the end, but by the time we got to the more exciting stuff in, say, the last 20 minutes, I just kind of found myself a bit bored. So I'm going to say chalk it up to the writing and the directing. I don't know. I'm just going to say this is barely a trick, because it didn't work for me, but I can't quite figure out what was wrong. I can't pinpoint something and say this was bad. So, barely a trick, not a recommend. But it at least had enough going for it where, like, if the filmmaker, it's Devereaux Milburn, if I see another thing pop up that they made, I will give it a chance. I will check it out. But I don't know. This one just didn't work for me. I'm very interested to hear your discussion about the film, hear what you guys thought about it. So I don't know. I look forward to hearing that, and I will talk to you guys soon. Have a great week. Bye.
All right, Arkham Josh, thanks, man. Didn't necessarily work for Josh, but he gave it a, what does he say, barely trick or type of treat? I can't remember now.
It's barely a trick, so buckle up, Josh. It'll be a fucking good first fucking 10 minutes of the conversation. Stay tuned.
So there you go. Always a pleasure to hear from Josh. So we appreciate it. And Angry Townsman says, I think Fried Barry will be one of the Joe Bob covered movies tomorrow. Interesting.
What are they going to do?
Do you know anything about that, MZ? Have any insight?
No, I don't. I have no knowledge of that at all.
Okay. That would be cool if, Joe Bob covered it, but we'll find out. All right, we got another voice message. We actually got, I think, two more. Yeah, two more. This is, we haven't heard from him in a while, but I'm actually curious to see what he has to say about this, because I saw he posted a review online. Let's hear from our boy EF Contentment.
Hello, this is EF, and I'm going to make this short and bitter. Honeydew is a terrible film. I feel it's a terrible film. I just thought it was very dull and tedious, an experience. Sure, the filmmaker Devereux Milburn throws a lot of weird characters and strange imagery and all that, but there was nothing beyond that. All I got from it was that he was just probably a big fan of guys like Ari Aster and Robert Eggers. But otherwise, it was just very dull. And I just kept checking the time to see how much left there was in the film. It bugs me that he cast Sawyer Spielberg, Steven Spielberg's son, not because the actor doesn't deserve it. I thought he was good, but the idea that his father will watch this film and possibly give Milburn a shot at a bigger project when there are plenty far more deserving first-time filmmakers, it bugs me. So, especially because I think it was shot in Massachusetts, and I started thinking about filmmakers from Massachusetts, like Skip Shea and Jared Blinkhorn and Andrea Wolanin. Those are all filmmakers who actually have something to say beyond, hey, I like Hereditary. Hey, I like Midsummer. Hey, The Lighthouse is rad. So that's tough. But didn't really care for it. And also I want to give Ares, God of War, another apology for my having made him watch Death Wish Club last November for the Patreon takeover. I never understood why he was so angry towards that film. He disliked it so much until now. Now I totally get it, because I'm feeling very Aries about this film. And like Aries, I will give this a dear God no, because I really didn't like this movie. But anyway, that's it. But I will say this. To try to get through it, at one point, I just imagined the couple in the film, the main couple. I imagined it to be Johnny Wolfenstein and T-Dog, because I think like those characters, they're vegans. And it kind of helped, but not quite enough, So there you go. But otherwise, it's, dear God, no. And again, I'm very sorry, Aries. I was thinking of Aries recently because of there was a thing for Psycho Gorman online, and I feel that movie is clearly based on Aries, except they just changed the names and the places, and that's why I'm afraid of him. Anyway, take care and be well, gentlemen.
Dear God, no!
I think what EF was saying was,
Stop this movie.
Yes, Raven Chow, you have your hand up.
I think that I'm feeling very Aries right now. Really just showcases the anger of things. So I like that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm feeling very Aries.
I love EF Contentment so much.
I know. You why don't you I don't know. Why don't you send him a message sometime, Raven Shadow, if you love him so much?
Dude, message me, bro.
No, I just told you to message him.
Yeah, but I get anxiety over that. Like, you I'm like fucking Dracula. You just invite me in. So send me a message and I'll come in and I'll do. But like, I need to be invited.
Maybe he has the same anxiety.
Yeah, did you think about that?
So Aries, why don't you do a group chat with me, you, and EF Contentment, and bring us together?
You know how I am with this whole online and chatting things.
All right, Johnny, do me a favor.
No.
Get a group chat. Monster Zero. Shit. All right.
Why don't you put your big boy pants on and do it yourself?
Yeah, Raven Shadow.
Marion.
Oh my God. That's like you cowering in the tent.
Not cowering in the tent.
You kind of are. You kind of are.
You can't.
The Raven Chateau is now the Raven Tent.
You can't even send a message to a cool dude without taking off your jeans. Come on, man. You want to talk to someone? Send a message.
All right, bro. I'm gonna just. All right, I'll text you, bro.
Bro. All right, we got one more voice message. This is from Raven Dose.
Oh, hello. Hi. Welcome to Wolfie's Clinic. How can I help you? My name is Raven Shadow. I'm here for my vaccination shots. Oh, great. That's cool. I just need to ask you a few questions first. Are you a smoker? Does a pig shit in the woods? The fuck you think?
Does a pig shit in the woods? Wow. That's it.
Perhaps I'm sending the wrong message.
You're gonna come to Wolfie's clinic?
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
Oh my god, that was fucking great. Does a pig shit in the woods, Raven Shadow? That's the question on everyone's hearts and minds.
I don't know if I seen a lot of fucking pigs in the fucking. I mean, like, oh.
We should ask the king of mixed metaphors, MZ.
Does a pig shit in the woods?
Yeah.
If I would imagine he does. Got his shit somewhere.
That was a good mixed metaphor, but not as good as lightning in a barrel. Do you guys remember lightning in a barrel?
Does a pig shit in a barrel?
How could you forget?
Does a pig shit in a barrel?
When you grab a snake by the head, you got him by the balls. What's that?
Yes. When you get a snake by the head, you got him by the balls. I think that was it.
I forgot that. I forgot about that one.
Holy shit! Oh, it's great.
Yeah, then we went into a discussion about whether or not a snake has balls, and then we came to the conclusion that no, he doesn't.
Oh man. All right. Well, that is it for voice messages, I believe. Let me just double check, see if anything popped in the last few minutes. Nope. That is it. That's it for voice messages. So we appreciate you guys dropping messages. Good to hear from EF. I hope he's doing well. And always a pleasure to hear from Gene Siskel's balding head, a.k.a. Raven Dose.
Josh and Tim from Melbourne.
Well, I thanked them after they sent them, but I didn't say anything after EF and Gene. So, all right. Is there anything else you guys wanted to bring up before we knock the fuck off?
Yeah, I'll be appearing this
Ooh,
Friday.
listen to you.
A little pluggy.
You perk up when you are plugging your appearances.
Thank you, Johnny. Yes. This Friday night, the day this episode drops, I will be appearing on Tales from the Podcast yet again. We'll be broadcasting live at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it will be my next phase. So, like, it's a trilogy, right? I've already done my 666 trilogy.
Yep.
Of this. So this is the start of my next 666 rounds episode. So I'll be doing episode 6 of season 6 of Tales from the Crypt, and it should be nice hanging out with JB and Jack. So it should be a good time.
So, and will the podcast be available after, or is it just a live show now?
No, it'll be available after. It's usually a couple.
Gotcha.
They stack them. So we'll be live at the 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it should be nice. And this is actually my sixth. It's actually my sixth appearance on the show. Aries is falling asleep. Sorry, I'm not talking about fucking woods. But
talking about woods.
Aries is so mad at me. It hurts my feelings. But why don't you come up with me on Tales from the Podcast? Come with me. Come over. We'll watch the show together. Me and you. No?
Sounds like a no to me.
It looks like a no.
So where can people find a radio show? Facebook, right?
Yeah, Facebook, talesfromthepodcast.com, broadcasting live, all kinds of stuff. You know, 2 guys, 1 cup. 2 guys, 1 crypt. I named that.
Boy.
That was different. But no, JB and Jack are killing it over there, and they have sponsors now with Manscaping, which is funny. So I might try to get a piece of that action.
Yeah, I'm
scared to ask. Do you manscape?
Yeah, no, I
he's
try.
Italian.
No, we're hairy people, but no, I try to like have a minimum balance down there.
So that's a yes?
Yeah, not quite the Abdul-Jabbar Cup, but I try to like, just try.
Do you like pinking shears or like what, like full on?
Oh God.
Yeah, I mean it's all like leverage.
Do you use a stimmy dent?
No, you gotta get
the Floby.
Yeah, you gotta try. If everyone, it's like wearing a mask. Everyone does their part to make it work for everyone.
Oh God.
Is that weird?
Is it weird? You have to ask.
All right, I love you, Aries. I'm sorry I made you upset.
Then why do you do it every week?
You made him really upset this week.
I know, I pissed him off. I know.
Yeah, he's looking at it. He's got a fucking, what is that, Aries?
I don't know what it's called, but it's my fiddle toy this week.
It's got a sharp blade on one end.
Yeah, that's his fiddle toy.
That's his fiddle toy.
That's
Joe, you don't,
scary. Fuck.
Joe, you don't cut that fucking beard off.
Yeah. Oh, careful.
Was Ollie doing some death-defying moves?
No, Ollie is.
Oh, I thought you were talking to Ollie. You were talking to Aries.
No, he had his fucking pinky shears next to his beard. I'm like, don't cut it off.
All right, well, we'll leave everyone in suspense of whether or not Aries is going to cut his beard off, and we're going to fucking end the show. So let's go around and say our goodbyes, starting with Monster Zero.
Arrivederci, douchebags. We're sorry.
Are we? Aries.
Oh, goodbye.
I forgot to check the chat room. Corny says T-Dog and Wolfie would have beat that old woman and tore that barn down. Hashtag vegan power. He's not wrong.
A bad day in fucking redneck New England, I'll tell you that.
And Evil Corny says, well, they had Manscaped as a sponsor. Yeah, I think that's over with now, Raven Shadow. All right, Raven Shadow, say your goodbye.
All right, live fast, love hard, survive with your mask on.
All right, everyone, that is going to do it for episode 458 of Trick or Treat Radio. We appreciate all you guys tuning in, for everyone who tuned into the live show, everyone who sent in some voice messages. We appreciate it, and everyone who listened to the podcast. You guys also are awesome, but not as awesome as our Patreon supporters. They're the best. We love them the most. Sorry, everyone, but, they keep the show going. So, what are we going to do,
They're just better than...
They're just better.
Whoa. Like it on some Facebook and shit, subscribe.
So that is going to do it. And next week, we'll be back for 459. We'll be talking about fried Barry. So everyone stay safe out there. We'll see you next week.